Hello, beautiful people. Well, life is definitely always interesting, and we can decide how interesting it is and can be. For me, something that has been coming forward quite a bit is taking responsibility for one's actions, taking responsibility for what's happening in our lives. So many times I hear people say, no, well, they made me do it. They caused me to do it. Oh, it happened because of. It may have happened because of. Most times it's happened because we've set ourselves up for it, either because of programming, because of a desire that we've sent out, a misunderstanding. And when we can step back and say, you know what, I take responsibility for whatever part I had in what has happened here. Now, even accidents, even things that appear to be were premeditated, that you haven't actually thought about or set up. Most times it's because of something else we've thought out, something else we've set up. Add to this, sometimes other people have thought of things. Other people have chosen things to happen. And it's in that we get to say, okay, well, what can I learn from this? How can I learn from this? My husband and I were talking, and he was saying, you know, he has a certain mantra that things and people come his way to help him create what he's looking to create in his life. And he said to me the other night, you know, I just realized every single person and everything in my life that happens is because of this. And he said, well, maybe it's not all because of this, and yet I can learn from everything. And this is such a profound statement, because yes, we can go down into victim and martyr mode with certain events, and we can rather say, okay, this is really uncomfortable. I dislike this. You own that emotion of either disappointment, helplessness, hopelessness. And then you say, what else can I create with this? Where can I create something expansive with this? And even when I had my brush with the estate agent who manages the property we run in afterwards, I went, oh, my giddy aunt, I was picking up on that person's emotions. I was picking up on their feelings. What can I learn from this? Where can I learn from this? Where can I create expansion in my life from this? And this is actually how karma is created. When we make a choice to expand, or we make a choice to stay constricted. And by owning that we have a hand in things, we actually help release that karmic thread. We actually help us get to the end of whatever contract it is in a far more effective way. People, we do have control. Many times I've gone, I have no control over this. And I go, you know what, Janine, that's a lie of immense proportions. It's a whopper of a whale of a story you're telling yourself, because we always have control over our feelings, our thinking, and our actions. Okay, if somebody pushes you and you fall, that's involuntary. Well, why did we set it up? I still go back to it. I broke my shoulder, and I look at the newsletter I'd been typing up just before it when I said, I'm unavailable for life to trip me up. Well, what did I do? I tripped up, flew, and smashed my shoulder, broke my arm, actually, broke my shoulder. So I feel like I'm rambling here. Maybe I am rambling. The bottom line is I'm hearing my guide say, you're definitely rambling. I think that's ego. The bottom line is, when we can take responsibility for whatever is happening in our life, not guilt, not shame, not blame, just say, okay, this has happened. Somewhere, somehow, I've set this up. What can I learn through this? Where can I create more effectively through this? It is absolutely incredible how everything just works out, how everything falls into place. It is in owning that we may feel down, we may feel unhappy about things, and where can we pivot it? Right. It is also so awesome, that pivot, that word pivot, which means to turn around. That can be a 360 where you go back to where you were, but normally let's do a 180. And we go and look at, okay, this may have been a little bit uncomfortable. Where is it expanding my comfort zone? Where is it helping me to expand my comfort zone and still feel safe? So you may be uncomfortable and you feel safe. And for me, this is what it's all about. Because when we take responsibility for our own actions, I'm not responsible necessarily for somebody who does something. I go and look at where has my action set it up, where have I set it up previously, and where have beliefs that I have set it up, because that is where we wind up being accountable and responsible. And this allows us to grow. This allows us to expand in a way that is just so much more expansive. Can we use that word? We can get into actions that are expansive. Alternatively, we can get into actions that are expensive, that cost us time, effort, and energy. I channeled for somebody the other day to say, before you do anything, just wait 2 weeks. Just wait 2 weeks. So they went ahead and they did set up various things. And then I got a message from them saying they're exhausted because they had to do this, they had to do that. This is what happens when we do things in our strength and our timing, rather than the timing that would bring us far more effective ways of doing it. And again, it's to take responsibility and say, oh, well, maybe I was out of alignment. Maybe there was a better way of doing it. It is a very different thought for us to work with. I understand this and I own this, and I have learned to allow it. I've actually learned to come to understand that, guess what? We can be responsible for things. We can allow things to happen. And alternatively, when we shift our thinking, we allow for better and more easier things to happen. When we shift our thinking upward to a higher vibration, when we shift it down into victim and, oh, why is this happening to me again? Oh my giddy aunt, that word why will keep you looping forever in that disastrous energy, because it may be a different situation. It's the same energy. So number one, take responsibility for our actions, our words, our thinking, and our thoughts. Number two, release the word why, unless it's the why that's making you move forward. And number three, allow yourself to step back and to view what's going on in a deeper level. This helps us to move forward in a much more aligned way. After all, how can life get any better than that? Now, that is a phrase that I enjoy using because it helps me to move and shift perspective. It helps me to have a deeper understanding. And I've seen when my clients use it, how it shifts and changes their world. In the beginning, you're going, Janine asked me to say, how does life get any better than this, with a very grumpy energy. And as you start saying, oh my goodness, look at this. Look at what I understood. Look at how things have turned out. Look at how it has improved. You have actually taken responsibility for being there at that point in your life and asking for life to get better. Even when things are wonderful. I had somebody the other day, we're having a really great experience. I said, how does life get any better than this? She turned around, she said, no, it can't. I said, well, maybe in your reality, it can't. In my reality, it can always get better than this, because there's different experiences, there's different ways of being, and there are different things that we choose to respond to react to, and to allow into our life. So for me, part of taking responsibility is asking, how can life get any better than this? How does life get any better than this? Because that immediately, even though we're having a wonderful experience, allows other wonderful experiences in. I am unavailable to only have one wonderful experience. I'm up for having lots of wonderful experiences, and even when they're not so wonderful, asking for better ones to come along. People, there's been a lot here today. I'd love to hear from you. Reach out and let me know your thoughts. Have a good day. Bye-bye.